Dear students, today we are going to start with the third unit of our syllabus, cell structure and its functions. Okay, so in this unit we are going to see three major areas. So the areas are the cell, the unit of life, the biomolecules and cell division and cell cycles. Okay, and now we are going to start with the cell unit of life. So what is cell and how can we define the term cell? So as we all know, the atoms are the basis of chemistry. Like that, the cell is the basis of biology. Okay, so all the living things, all the living organisms, all the living entities in the world is made up of the basic units called cell. So how can we define the term cell? Cell is the simplest unit of life. The first term you should remember, cells are the simplest unit of life. There are so many types of unicellular organisms, so we can define the second definition for here over here. They can be independent existence. Okay, they can be independent existence, and they are the simplest form. They can be alive. Okay, that is the major point. So what do you mean by alive? So yes, a protein molecule or a nucleic acid molecule or a ribosome cannot be called as a living molecule. Okay. So what do you mean by alive? They can be perform functions. Cell can perform the body's function, and it can be exist as independent small structure, and this is a basic unit of the living organism. Okay. So what is cell? Cells are the simplest unit of life. They can be exist independently, and they are the simplest unit. They can be called as alive or living molecule or living structure of any living structure or organism. Okay. So before we are entering into the detailed topics of the basic unit of life, you should know something about the cell theory. And now we are going to start with the cell theory. And before we are entering into the cell theory, you should know something about the history behind the idea of cell. Okay, so there are two names you have to remember: Anton von Leeuwenhoek and Robert Brown. So Anton von Leeuwenhoek, who was impressed from the astro studies, okay, and he has used the microscopes to observe the samples. Okay, to observe the water samples and various samples, and he has discovered the presence of microscopic living things. Okay, that is the point you have to remember.